reflection is everything. I'm sitting here this morning bathing in the aftermath of the most amazing week of my life, actually. I feel like I'm finally stepping into my soul's destiny. And I thought I'd speak to you about not dimming your light. I don't even want to use the word don't, because if you say the word don't, your subconscious mind hears the verb actually, and then so you do. Like when I say to you, don't worry, you automatically go to worry because I've planted the seed there. So I probably will rephrase my title, but I just couldn't think of anything cleverly. Here's me sitting in the aftermath of stepping into what I never thought I could do, actually. And overcoming internal fears and overcoming feeling like I'm not good enough, or feeling like I'm not worthy, or feeling like I haven't got the finances to back the types of projects that I've been operating in, particularly in the last week. I'm building community, and I know this is my soul purpose. And I need you guys to know that while you see, us all glamoured up with the makeup on and you see the event successful, you don't see what's happening behind closed doors. To do this type of stuff, you've got to do it broke. You've got to do it with a mindset that it's already happened. And you have to actually get to the point, which is really freaking scary, of saying, I'm going to go all in even if it doesn't work, while everybody's watching. And so that means overcoming the fear of judgment, overcoming the fear of failure, overcoming the fear of being financially really strapped. I am so strapped financially because to run these gigs costs me a lot of money. All you see is the pretty back end of the event that's successful. But just yesterday, we had only sold half the room for the Sound Healers Collective. And we've still got to pay the venue. We've still got to pay the expenses. I traveled 1.5 hours to get to Warriewood for that particular event. And so that's the type of thing you don't see. The magical luncheon, you don't see all the sweat that goes in. The fact that while we're putting money into the magical luncheon to put that on as an event, you don't see that we're struggling to pay our rent as a healer or as a practitioner or as somebody else that's serving the community. But that's okay, because we're here to show you how to do this. This is what I really want to get across today, is that to step into your empowered state, to step into your light, means to use the gifts that Spirit sowed into you. And you're not going to do that by sitting at home worrying about it. You're going to rise up. You're going to get a fire in your belly. You're going to be encouraged by seeing others doing the do. And that should, I hope, inspire you instead of sparking a seed of jealousy. If you are feeling jealous when somebody else is doing the do, then that means that you are not aligning yet with what you should be doing. Exactly what that person's doing is what you're called to do. That's why you're feeling jealous. It's the emotional state of propelling and pushing you into your soul purpose. You just got to let that click in. And so you got to face your own fears. And these things don't happen overnight, especially when you're doing spiritual work or healing work or something that works against the grain of what's happening in society. You got to do it with a raw face. And this is me without my mineral makeup today. And I'm in the same spot as my video yesterday. Doesn't it make a difference? And yet the old me never would have stepped into a group, an event last night with my face looking like this. And I did it. I just did it. I realized that I was the energy within, that I have a soul destiny, and that everything that happens with me, through me, for me is happening there for you as well, because you're watching. And I say this from the bottom of my heart. I just want to be a spark to ignite the fire that's already seated within your DNA to do you and to shed your light, because you have so many amazing gifts to give. And if you're hiding, I can make a lot more money doing mundane jobs that I hate. Easy. It's easy for me to make money. But to step into soul purpose means that you you kind of throw it all down, you surrender it, and you just go for it. And you trust the divine to provide for you. Because it's alignment. I want you guys to really feel this. I want you, if you're struggling in that little jump, I want you to just really hear what I'm saying today. These are some ways that we dim our light. We take our gifts for granted. If you see yourself as a nervous system and you came here to bring light, and yesterday I spoke about tears clearing the eyes. Well, tears are clearing your nervous system. Your eyes are a part of your nervous system. You have 3 eyes. This one I'm praying is amplified. I've been praying for Spirit to open my 3rd eye like it used to be when I was a child. And this is what I heard. You switched it off because you were afraid of what you were being shown. And I had this pivotal memory. I don't have a lot of childhood memories actually, but I had this pivotal memory of this. It seemed to me to be a nightmare, but now I recognize that it wasn't a nightmare. I was being shown the quantum future, and it was too much for my nervous system to process as a child that couldn't give words to emotions. But I'm not that child anymore. That inner child is healing. That's just a part of me. And I'm choosing now to not use my gifts. I used to hide my gifts. One of my gifts is speaking. And I used to criticize myself for that too, because I was believing the rhetoric of the collective that all said this: you talk too much, Michelle. Yeah, well, maybe I do. If you're being called to speak as well and you're pushing that down and you're watching me talk, it's going to prickle you. And so I want you to see things backwards today. I don't want you to take your gifts for granted. And Spirit's been calling me to work on camera. One of the first jobs that I had was on television. I got that job so easily. I was 16. I fell into it. I remember when the taxi picked me up and took me to the ABC. I got out of the car and they realized how young I was. Because I hadn't really had an emotional childhood. I grew up really fast. I had to. I was a fighter. And so my eloquence in being able to speak and present were way beyond my years. And I look at this now because after that job, I realized that you get a lot of attention when you start speaking on camera. And I pushed it away because I wasn't yet ready to allow my light to shine. I couldn't see others. I couldn't see myself as others saw me, and I found that attention uncomfortable. And I think I'm still sabotaging myself in that if I process that actually. But I'm learning now with my human design that crystals set me on, and my new business branding, working in soul alignment, has given me this huge aha moment how life is full circle. And so if you've walked through it before, you need to walk through it again and embellish it this time, embrace it. Because I spent my whole rest of my career working behind the scenes, not on camera, for others that were on camera. I was giving them my gifts, my light, in order to embellish them. And I'm not saying that you have to do camera work, I'm not. But a lot that are watching me are really jumping into a state of boldness now. They've started speaking. Some of them that I'm coaching, some of them even in my 9 weeks course, I'm noticing that they're speaking differently now. And so our light is shared via osmosis too, it seems. We become who we hang around, and that's even on our screens. And so I hope that you watching my struggle and my journey and my, I don't know how to say it, my boldness to build community unapologetically. Even though those freaking haters are over there watching and boo-hooing, and some of them are never happy, they can just watch me grow the community that are ready to quantum leap. Because I've shielded up against all of that. So I don't want to take my gifts for granted, actually. I'm good at talking. And so I'm not going to hide in shame anymore with that. I'm going to use the gift that's been God-given, God-seeded into me, genetically, according to what I chose as my soul agreement. I'm going to use it to encourage others. I remember living in Indonesia where I was rock bottom financially, mentally, spiritually, didn't even believe in spiritual things back then, crying to the divine, saying I'm not good at anything. I was comparing myself with everybody in my... It was shortly after I got zapped in the head, and I was starting to meet some spiritual people that seemed to me to be living in their fruit, not living in hypocrisy. That's what I grew up in. I grew up in a lot of spiritual talk, but I mean, you could talk about love, but if you're not showing me love, my ears are deaf to you, and they should be, because that's bullshit. So many operating as spiritual gurus and that are living like that. So don't listen to the words, look at the actions. And like my post yesterday, resonate with how somebody makes you feel. If you feel safe in their presence and you're not feeling judged, even if they're triggering you, because people's divine light or their divine gifts will trigger you if you've got a similar calling, that's don't throw the shade. Go inward and shift that in you. That person is your reflection. And I remember literally being on my knees weeping, so I can't do anything for you, the divine. I was very good at the mechanical in the three-dimensional. I was very good at making others feel good about themselves in a workspace. I think that's why I've been so successful as a stylist, actually. It's nothing to do with gifts and talents. It's about how you make the people around you feel. And I was really good at making the crew feel happy and jovial and make the hours float away without it being... I manage stress very well. And coming from these high pressure jobs, I realize now what the divine's been doing for me. She's been cultivating me, growing me, allowing me to see that all of that is my light. All of it is. My ability to hold space for you to tell me your problems used to happen to me at the camera every single day. Every single day it was a counseling therapy session without me even realizing. But now I'm realizing I'm not going to take those light gifts for granted. Not using your gifts and talents to help others is hiding your light. It's dimming your light. You've been gifted these gifts by the divine to shift the energy of the collective. Are you doing it with gratitude? Are you doing it gung-ho? Or are you just trying to sit back and ignore it all? Thinking that others are better than you is hiding your light. It's extinguishing the fire of the nervous system that you have when you're plugged into the tree of life. Thank you, Georgie, for listening. Thank you for being your amazing soul. The calling is all the validation you need. What have you been called into? It'll be whatever you're trying to push back against. I was pushing back against turning up. I remembered when I started Eka Circle, I used to say to the girls that were traveling with me then, not many of them are here anymore, you'll notice, that I never would put my face on camera. I can hear myself saying it. And the divine kept reprimanding me. You know why? Because these are the windows to the soul. This is where your light shines from. And if somebody can connect to you, eye to eye, the energies exchange, the nervous systems unite, the fields unite. The calling is all the validation that you need. If it's in you, it must grow. And you only have yourself to blame for dimming it down, dimming down the light. You're hiding. You're hiding. My session with Nia last week, not this week, last week. I asked Nia what she identified with. Was it the body or the light? And she said, I'm a light being. Wow. And then Jackie from the collective sent me mirrored numbers, 1221. And she looked it up in the Bible and she said, what does this mean? I've got this message for you. Her guides were speaking to her. And yes, it was, don't hide your light under a bushel. Put it on a stand and shine. So if you're hiding today, this message is for you. What are the excuses that you're giving the divine for hiding? Is it, I don't look good enough? Well, hello? Freaking hell, just turn up. It's the divine within you that needs to shine. It's not even about your body or your appearance. Some days we look good, some days we don't. If you're connecting with people that only rock up because you look good, that's not your people. If you're hiding your light because you're called to speak and you don't like the sound of your voice like me, then you're hiding. You're hiding. Often what you do for others is what you need to be doing for yourself. All perceived obstacles are our initiations to help you build your spiritual stamina. All of them. All obstacles. My obstacles were poverty. My obstacles were fear of what others think. My obstacles were never felt like the right timing. It's a bit like having a child. You'll never feel like it's the right time to birth. You never have enough money or enough time or enough energy to have a baby. You've got to just jump. You've got to just do it scared. You've got to do it. Hello, everybody that's jumping in. It's good to have you here. Your resistance is an invitation to bring coherence to yourself. All you have is you. All you have is now. Everybody in your peripheral is a reflection of who you are operating at now. So are they people that make you feel comfortable and loved? If they're not, you've got some shifting to do. It's internal. It's within you. Step into your divine light. Step into your expansion. Your mind operates at times as the fragmentation of your soul. We have altars within us that need clearing, that need merging. There's one part of me that operates as a scared little child, and there's the other part of me that's operating as the ferocious lion that wants to step into my divinity. And yet I need the merging of the two, because my magic's found in my childhood state. My joy was left behind. What made you happy as a child? What brought you joy as a child? That's how you'll find your light. It was often stolen. It was stolen sexually, or it was stolen emotionally, or it was squashed down by other peers that were running in darker energies. You need to take all of that good, juicy stuff back. Your fears are an invitation to face the pain from your past that you are still projecting into your future. Still, even now. And I am too. I'm doing it scared. I'm doing it scared. I want to be an encouragement to you watching me that huge things can happen for the collective and the community if you just shine. You just step into what you're empowered to do. Were you afraid of talking when you were a child? You shouldn't have been. Were you afraid of being judged when you were a child? You shouldn't have been. Were you afraid to play when you were young? You shouldn't have been. I can't wait for my session, Rach. I am so freaking excited to be reprogrammed for everything that I'm worthy of holding, because everything in here is other people's programming. I want to operate only from my heart space. I've got this beautiful t-shirt on today, gifted to me by gorgeous Ange in our collective, and it says there is no fear in love. That's become my mantra. So if I want to give, I give without the fear of not having enough. Are you listening? If I want to take a day off, I take the day off. Tomorrow I'm taking the day off to spend with my mum. I'm taking the day off, sowing seeds of love without the fear of not having enough money to pay my rent. The divine is providing for me because I'm stepping into my soul purpose. Every single challenge you meet on the journey of expressing your gifts is a benevolent attempt from the universe designed to awaken you. All you have is you. All you have is now. Everybody that's watching is a reflection. This is powerful. You are right on schedule. Keep going. Keep going. I've taken some of these delicious words from Xavier Dagbar, who's a professional coach at helping you with shadow work. I'm shifting my shadow When you shine brightly, the shadow is dark. But just like a match, the darkness is only spilled from the stick, only from the stem, only from the lampstand. The light, the flame doesn't cast a shadow. This is us when we step into our third eye. The activation of the ability to shine unapologetically because it was seeded in you. That's who you really are. Who you really are, just like Nia said, I am a light being. I am expanding. If my light or your light shining onto another is rippling waves of darkness in them, all it's doing is revealing their shadow state. That's great. They may not be your inner circle. You're still doing amazing work there. Don't dim your light. Your light is what lights you up. Your light is what you're operating with, higher emotions, what brings you joy. If your job's not bringing you joy today, jump out of that. If your relationship isn't making you feel secure, protected, safe, and able to be all of these multifaceted parts of you that are magic. We're different every day, right? We're growing, we're expanding. If your relationships aren't allowing you that freedom, then it might be time to rethink it. Will the divine call you out of your comfort zone? You bet. You are right on schedule. Keep going. Keep going. Don't dim your light for anyone. Even if we're doing the same things. I had imposter syndrome when I came up with the idea to launch the group sound healers thing, because some of the girls have been playing longer than me. And I don't just do sound healing. Sound healing's a tool for me. I see myself more as an encourager. I'm a waterer. And by the way, backpedal because I get distracted easily. When I was on my face crying out to the divine that I couldn't do anything, what I heard was, you are a waterer. Now, it's taken me nearly 30 years to process what that actually is, but I'll tell you what a waterer is now. It's an encourager. It's an emotional activator. Your emotions are your currency. They are what fire out of your nervous system, and they either make someone feel good or they make someone feel shitty. Don't use your light to make someone feel shitty. You are activating with what you're holding. Rise up today, shine brightly, be unapologetically you, be authentic. And you know what that will do? It will ruffle wings, but that's great, because if you're not turning up, speaking authentically, you're attracting the wrong tribe. And we are a collective vibration. So aren't you better off to pull some weeds? I was having a chat with some of the girls this morning, and I said to one of them, we're currently weeding. Yesterday I got home and my husband had done a lot of weeding in the backyard of my house. I don't see this as a coincidence. Everything is happening to you, for you, to elevate you, to activate you, to push you into your purpose. The birthing is a wee bit uncomfortable. Do it scared if you have to, because the divine will always provide for you. So if you're thinking about being coached or mentored, I am. We have to be, otherwise we're stuck. Yeah, if you didn't get that grounding growing up in your family, you need a mentor. You need somebody to guide you. You need somebody to show you another way. Then invest in yourself. Like Christy was saying on Saturday, put the hard money down and then you'll do the work. Because if you're waiting for all of this to just fall in your lap, I don't know, you might have to do another 7-year cycle. We're traveling in 7-year cycles of Saturn. It's the circles, the round and the round and the round. In order to get to 8, which is abundance, you've got to push through the 777, just like Christ did. You've got to invest in yourself. You've got to do it scared. You've got to be humble enough to ask for help. Like I am. I get help from everyone I meet now. I invest in everyone I meet. If it feels aligned, I want to pay them for their services because I'm really shit tired of walking this journey alone and making the same mistakes over again. I've finally accepted that I'm worthy of allowing my light to shine, and I want to embellish it. I want it to be bejeweled. There is no fear in love. No fear of not having enough money. There's no fear of not being supported. There's no fear of not having friendships. The ones that have left, I've got better ones dropping in. Ones that believe in me, ones that message me, ones that encourage me, ones that give me money, ones that don't want all the freebies. It's such a different vibe. I'm so grateful for the collective that has been gifted to me. But I realize that Spirit's gifted them to me because I'm finally ballsing up a bit and stepping into my light destiny. I'm operating as a child of light instead of a child of shadow. The child of shadow is afraid. The child of light is gung-ho, dancing, living in the moment, living for today. What shall we do today? I'm operating from my highest timeline. It's my mantra every morning. Every morning, what shall we do today? That's the scared inner child. That's the me that's sitting here staring at you through my nervous system, connecting soul to soul. And it's my higher self on a much higher timeline that's already seen the future and isn't afraid at all, because we're going to plan. You are right on schedule. It's not a competition. Spirit's not bound by time. Be the light today. I might be an encourager and a waterer. What are you though? We're not the same. Step into your empowered state. You were this as a child before it was stolen from you. You can't steal light, actually. You cannot steal light. You cannot steal energy. You can package up a program, or you can package up a business, or you can package up a gift, but nobody's you. People hire you. People are attracted to you. You are magnetic. And when you get super duper magnetic, you become repelling as well, because see how the eyes operate when they look at a bright light? We're blinded. Bring back the joy. There is no competition, 100%. You cannot steal another person's energy. You can try to manipulate and control it. And if that person's allowing you that, like I used to, then it's all by design too, because we're learning to shield and shift out of that. Yep. So manipulation and control is not welcome in my house. Divine love is always welcome here. Last night we called in the violet flame. We're praying for peace on earth. Wouldn't that be lovely? If everybody was confident enough just to be unique and shine. It can happen. It starts with you. Peace starts here. If I'm radiating peace, I attract peace. Everything's happening right on time. By design, you are shifting. You are shifting. So, taking your gifts for granted will dim your light. Not using your talents to help others will dim your light. Thinking others are better at what you do will dim your light. Be like me and just play. Play the singing bowls with the other girls. I observed last night, they're all stepping into a real boldness that they've learnt by osmosis from that small macro collective. They're all standing up and speaking more boldly. I can't wait to see all of us quantum leap. The healers set a space for other divine healers to heal. I'll tell you a secret though. We're all healers. You heal yourself. Don't dim your light. It's light that heals. Lots of love. Drop me a comment if this helps you. Thank you for tolerating my crusty old face. I'm anticipating that very soon it will be shining. Lots of love to all of you. Shine on. Don't hide your light. It is magnificent.